Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Amy Bremer's here. She's a wealth manager and a CFP with Annex Wealth Management. Hello, Amy.
Hi, Danny.
Well, folks, maybe you're one of the 4.1 million Americans that are turning 65 this year. Maybe you're hoping to take an early exit from the workforce, or maybe you pushed off retirement. Whatever the situation, it'll help if you can get close to saying yes to these 7 questions. Now, Amy, before we ask the questions, I want to remind everybody that if you don't know, you're a little intimidated by the whole process, this is what we do.
This is what we do, and retirement can be intimidating because you've never done it before, but Annex has helped families do this. So come see us. We'll help you out.
Question 1, do you have enough retirement income? How do we get at that?
Well, the first thing you want to assess is your current spending. There are certain things that you can control and things that you can't control. We can't control the markets. We can't control what the government does, but we can control our spending. We also want to assess how that might change in retirement. Things like, do you have a big bucket list for vacation? Are you going to be doing lots of traveling? Do you have big purchases like a new car, or does the house need siding? Things like that need to be planned for. We also want to look at what your current income sources are. Things like 401ks, IRAs. Is it traditional? Is it Roth? Do you have a pension? When do you start Social Security? All of those things go into that decision.
Question 2, do you have a clear retirement withdrawal strategy?
This is really important. And a lot of retirees come to Annex with this question because they know they've saved all this money and they've done a really good job of saving, but they don't know how to take it out. More importantly, how to do that in a tax efficient manner. We help families with that on a daily basis. Come talk to us.
Question 3, pretty important, I think. Are you clear on your retirement goals?
Yeah. And part of that is folks don't know because you've been working for so long. What does it look like? What do you want to do? Sometimes working with families, one spouse says one thing and the other spouse says something else. And those visions don't necessarily match up. So daydream, take some time and visualize what you want it to be. Do you want to volunteer? Do you want to travel? Do you want to buy an RV and go to the national parks? And talk about it with your partner and see if they have the same aspirations as you.
Amy Bremer's a wealth manager, CFP, Annex Wealth Management. 7 questions you need to at least get close to a yes answer if you're considering retirement. Remember, if you're not sure, that's what we do. AnnexWealth.com, click that Get Started button. 4, do you have a plan for long-term care?
Long-term care will sneak up on you. And a lot of folks don't think about it because when they retire, they're younger and healthy. Long-term care is very expensive, and it doesn't necessarily mean going to the nursing home. That is one option. Another option is having folks come into your home and care for you. Maybe you need a little bit of care here and there, help with some dishes, laundry, things like that. It can be expensive, and families can choose to either self-fund or purchase long-term care insurance to help with that need. And Annex has experts in those fields that can help you navigate that process for yourself.
Question 5, is it better for your health to stop? But you've seen that.
Sometimes. We had a gentleman who came to us. He's a very kind man. He was a butcher and he worked in a grocery store. And it was very, very difficult on his joints and his muscles. And he didn't know if he could retire or not. And he could. And he was able to afford to do that. And his health has improved and he's gotten better with his fitness and he's lost weight. It was a life-changing event for this man. And that's the kind of things that we can help you with.
Question 6, not long-term, but it's about a clear health care plan. Do you have one?
This is another one people don't think about. So there's a few things to consider. One, if you're retiring at 65, you get to go on Medicare. Medicare is not free. This year, if you're on Medicare, it costs $185 per person per month in premiums. Medicare doesn't cover everything. It doesn't cover eyes, ears, and teeth. So things like eyeglasses, dental work. Eventually, you may need hearing aids. Hearing aids are several $1,000s each. They're very expensive. Then you have co-pays and deductibles. Medicare has those just like your current insurance does. So we need to make a plan for a supplement insurance policy, which will have an additional premium, and then ways to cover those deductibles and co-pays.
Womp, womp.
I know.
Right,
Sorry
okay.
to be a buzzkill.
Question 7, I think this gets at the heart of really successful financial planning that we work on with our clients. Can you name the ways you'll connect with friends and family?
This is huge. And it's such a passion project of mine. Is work is so much of what we do, 40 hours a week. And us as Americans, we're work-centric. We define our self-worth by what we do. How many times have you gone to a cocktail party and the first question they ask you is, where do you work? What do you do? We define ourselves by what we do. And when you take away that identity, what are you left with? What are you going to fill that void with? Clients want to babysit grandchildren and be primary childcare. Clients say, I'm not a childcare. I've raised my children. I'm done.
Right.
Clients that want to travel, clients that traveled for work that say, don't ever get me on an airplane ever again. Just give me a good book and a corner on my cat on my lap. So what does that look like for you? How are you going to fill that void? How are you going to have that social interaction that's really important? How are you going to stay in contact with your friends and family and keep that network for you going?
There's the dollars and cents, but there's the head and the heart, and we work on both of those. Amy Bremer, Wealth Manager, also CFP at Annex Wealth Management. Love your expertise. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure, Danny.